we're going to move on to the Knicks year in review. So last season.
Now, yo, give me a shot at it. Go New York, go New York, go. We'll be back.
It's Trae Young, Valley.
No.
Finished 41-31, fourth seed in the East. Ended up losing in the first round to Atlanta. What we've been doing is giving a grade for the team and what they did last season. Personally, I would probably give the Knicks an A for last season, to be honest. I mean, they outdid expectations. They looked like a much better team than everyone expected. And they did, like Dennis said, they were really close to Atlanta in pretty much every game that they had there. Like, we'll start with Glenn. What kind of grade would you give them, and what did you think of last season and when it all comes together?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. When you're talking about expectations going into the season, I mean, it can't be under an A, right, guys? Like, I'm giving them an A just because I want to say A+, but going into that Hawks series, I genuinely thought we were the better team. I mean, we swept them the regular season. I know the regular season is different, but going into that series, I legitimately thought we were the better team. And I think, if we got really anything out of Julius Randle, our two best players, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, we relied a little too heavily on Derrick Rose in the bench. I mean, if you look at our second unit scoring, it pretty much outpaced the Hawks every game. So I think with a little more contribution from Julius Randle and RJ in that series, could have been different. That being said, still very incredible season, dude. I was optimistic about this season. I couldn't tell you why. And it just exceeded all those expectations. So disappointing ending, but a lot to build on. And Dennis, I'm telling you, something huge is on the horizon here. Writing's on the wall, man. Something big's coming.
Yeah, I'm going to weigh 220 pounds soon, too. And I've been saying that for 10 years.
I agree with Glenn, and I'm a big Knicks hater. I mean, I couldn't stand the whole Knicks tape. I couldn't stand the whole Amari and Melo days. Knicks have been garbage for forever, even when they had Baron Davis. The Knicks were not supposed to make the playoffs. The Knicks were supposed to be, a bottom 10 team in the league last year. They hired Tom Thibodeau, who has won pretty much everywhere he's gone, and they really overexceeded the expectations. But we've seen the growth of RJ Barrett, who I admittedly thought he was going to be the best player in that class, even though Zion and John Morant have gotten off to high starts. I think he can be in that air. I think he could be a superstar player just like the other two. You got Mitchell Robinson, who I think he had some health issues last year. Maybe I'm wrong, Glenn. Yeah. He didn't play a lot last year, right?
Oh, no, he didn't.
But, he's an exciting young defensive center. You got Quickly, who surprised off the bench. They got a nice roster, a nice nucleus, and a mix of young and old. They're going to keep building, and maybe 2 years down the line, Paul George wants to sign with them, or
who?
Jimmy Butler. I don't know who's available in 2 years, but somebody's going to want to be available. Pascal Siakam, maybe. Someone's going to be available, and the Knicks are going to get it. If they keep the upward trajectory that they've been on, they're going to sign a big free agent in the next couple of years. They're still not going to be better than Brooklyn as long as we have KD, but they're going to be a formidable team in the East.
I got to take deep breaths. I actually give the Knicks an A+ with extra credit on top of it. So many things went well last season. Julius Randle was fantastic, was one of the best players in the league as far as I'm concerned. They had a lot of injuries, and they had Mitchell Robinson go down, and they had Nerlens Noel step up and play well. They played about 38 different combinations in the backcourt. They had no backcourt consistency. But there was a lot of good development there. And for a team that wasn't expected to do anything, because if you asked the question last year whether the Nets were supposed to be in the playoffs, people would have laughed at you. You know what I mean? They would have laughed for even talking about that stuff. But you got to give kudos to how well just everything went last season. Everything just, they did everything so well. And I want the Knicks to do well. So A+ plus extra credit. They did fantastic.
I never actually gave a grade, but I will give an A. I think they exceeded expectations, and they get an A. It's the one and only time I'll praise the Knicks in my life.
I just want to say that I know right after the draft, and especially after our fantasy basketball league draft, I said to Mike that Emmanuel Quickley is going to be the best player in that draft class. And he's looking like Lou Will right now.
Wow. You called wait. So you called that after last year's draft?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what it was. I literally even told him, I was like, I don't have anything to back it up. I just have a gut feeling.
I mean, Calipari gave him glowing praise about his work ethic, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you saw that.
He's good, but let's slow it down before we start saying all this
Fearless.
stuff.